If you enjoy this video, then please leave a like and a comment, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell. And while you're here, why not check out all our other content? Thank you, and enjoy the video.
And if you want these figures for yourself, you can get them on Amazon through my link in the description. Today's review is on Studio Series 86, Scrapper and Bone Crusher. Now, the Studio Series Constructicons have become quite the controversial topic. We've had a lot of different complaints from a lot of different people. They're slight updates of the Combiner Wars figures. Scrapper isn't worth Voyager price. They have no excuse to not have waist rotations. Now, I can understand why people don't like these figures. You were expecting something new, and to just get the same thing with slight alterations can be disappointing. But I personally don't have a problem with it. I never handled the Combiner Wars figures, or any Constructicons that combine, so I just see this as a way to finally have a Devastator in my collection. And as for Scrapper not being worth Voyager price, yeah, it's a bit annoying to have to pay more for what is basically a deluxe, but we should be used to it at this point. They've been doing it for years with no signs of stopping. Plus, according to that toy guy, large ratchet joints are expensive, so yeah. And finally, about them not having waists, I don't really care. I usually don't use the waist on figures that have them anyway, and if it's to make the combine mode more solid, then that's completely fine with me. I would rather have solid figures with less joints than a floppy mess with a bunch of joints. Like, I still think Kingdom Trax and Siege Nightbird are a million times worse than these two. At least these figures can actually stand up, which should be the bare minimum. Anyway, I guess we should start talking about the figures in this figure review. But before we do that, let's take a look at the boxes. So again, we have the new style of Studio Series packaging. Got some nice artwork on the front. Transformers Studio Series, Transformers the movie, the name of the figure. A picture of Devastator on the side. And then pictures of the figure, a picture from the movie. Bone Crusher battles the Autobots in Autobot City on Earth. Okay. And then nothing on the side, nothing on the top, so yeah, good box. And as for Scrapper, there's not much else to say. Got some new artwork, Devastator, pictures of the figure, the same picture from the movie. Scrapper is the engineer and designer of the Constructicons. He combines with other Constructicons to form Devastator. Yep, that's what he does. And then nothing on the side, nothing on the top. Yeah, good box. Now let's start with Bone Crusher. This was the figure I was least excited to get. Bone Crusher has always been my least favorite Constructicon. He has such a try-hard name for a character who looks like he could be taken out with one good kick to the knees. And the pictures of this figure did not give me any hope. He looked so weird with his massive chest and baby limbs. But I am surprised to say that this figure actually looks decent, as long as you get him into a pose. Yeah, this has the same problem as Legacy Laser Prime. They look really bad standing straight, but they look great once you pose them. The paint is pretty much non-existent. He's got a bit on the chest, hands, the sides of the legs, and the face, but that's pretty much it. Speaking of, the head is definitely Bone Crusher's head. Now, I hate it, but that's more of a problem with the design than the figure itself. Bone Crusher has always had a stupid looking head. Before we move on, here's some size comparisons. Here he is next to a standard Deluxe, a standard Voyager, a standard Leader, and Blocky's Bone Crusher. As for accessories, you get a gun, this slides into the hand, and it can be stored on the back. As for articulation, head goes up, down, left, and right, shoulders go all the way around and out, elbow rotation, elbow bend, nothing at the wrist. He technically does have a waist, but the chest plate doesn't move with it, so it doesn't count as far as I'm concerned. Leg goes up, down, and out, thigh rotation, knee bend, and an ankle pivot. Posability is pretty alright, and the transformation is fast and effective. Okay, so the legs are pretty simple. You just straighten them out and then close the feet. And then we're done with the legs for now. We're going to take the chest and just fold it down. Take the head, fold it down. And then the whole thing will come back like that. What we're going to do is we're going to rotate the elbows all the way around. And then they will flip up like so. Do the same on the other side. And then they should just come in like so. Just make sure they're the right way around and then bring them in, connect them together, and then they should just clip into place. Yep. Now the shovel, what you're going to do is you're going to bring it down on the first joint, bring it back up on the second joint, and then bring the bucket down so it's like that. This canopy is just going to come up, and then the legs are going to connect in two places. They're going to connect into the waist and into this black piece. Just, yep, they will click into place. Straighten everything out, and you have a crusher of bones in vehicle mode. And in the end, you get a good-looking vehicle mode that doesn't roll since it doesn't have any wheels, but it can slide pretty well, and the bucket can articulate. And just to let you know, I won't be showing off the combine modes for any of these figures until I get all of them. So, that's Bone Crusher. I was expecting to hate this thing, but it's actually pretty decent. I'm gonna give it a 7 out of 10. Now, as for Scrapper, the design is a lot better. There's a lot more going on, he has a lot more paint, the legs are a bit weird looking, his lower legs are really short, and his thighs are really long. It looks a bit strange, but I'm not too bothered by it. The head is really nice. Nothing beats a faceplate and visor. Also gives me some Soundwave vibes. Maybe they go to the same place to buy faceplates. Now, as for size comparisons, Deluxe, Voyager, Leader, Bone Crusher, and Blocky's Scrapper. As for accessories, you get a gun for Scrapper and a gun for Devastator that can split into two halves. These can be held in the hand, although they aren't the tightest fit, and there's no storage. As for articulation, head goes up, down, left, and right. Shoulders go all the way around and out. Butterfly joint, bicep rotation, elbow bend, nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist. He has a sideways crunch, so I guess you could use that for something. Leg goes up, down, and out. Thigh rotation, knee bend, foot goes up and down, and an ankle pivot. Posability is still pretty nice, even without a waist. The transformation is pretty simple, but still very smooth and fun. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is open the chest, fold the head in, close it again. Now the legs are going to come up and the feet are going to go in at the same time. And then they'll just come up like that. Connect the legs together, I forgot to say that. And then the back of the legs will just come up and around. And then it will all connect together like so. And then we're just going to bring this down. Okay, with the arms, we're going to flip the hands in. And then the elbows bend backwards. And then they should just come in and connect into the chest. And we are done. We have a Scrapper vehicle mode. And in the end, you get a good-looking vehicle mode that rolls well, and the bucket can articulate. So that's Scrapper. And I'd say both of these figures are about the same in quality, so he'll get the same score of a 7 out of 10. Today's review is on Studio Series 86 Hook and Long Haul. Now, for the people who haven't seen my review on Scrapper and Bone Crusher, I don't mind the 86 Constructicons. I understand the hate they're getting. These figures aren't for everyone. But for someone like me, who has never handled any kind of combining Devastator, and just want solid, good-looking versions of the Constructicons, I can look past the few issues these figures have. And I do say few, because these figures aren't even bad. You're all just mean. Also, I won't be doing any combining in this video. I'll wait until I have Scavenger and Mixmaster, and then do Devastator as like a grand finale. Now, before we look at the figures, let's take a look at the box. Okay, so we got a very big box here. I am very far away from the table right now, so we got some nice artwork on the front. Transformers Studio Series, Transformers the movie, the names of the figures, ignore that damage there. On the side, more artwork. On the back, the same picture from Scrapper and Bone Crusher. Like, couldn't they find more images of the Constructicons? And then pictures of the figures and the vehicle modes. And then here we have a bio. Long Haul and Hook combine with other Constructicons to form Devastator. And then on the side, a picture of Devastator. On the top, the names of the figures. On the bottom, nothing. Good box. Very big, good box. Anyway, Hook. Now, I genuinely don't get the complaints for this one. Why are people mad that his legs look normal instead of like a crime against nature? First off, his original legs are horrible. And I will always say that I prefer good-looking figures over 100% accuracy. Especially when it leads to stuff like this. Second, you do realize these figures have to transform? I can't see this transforming with its original legs without it being a panel-heavy nightmare. And before anyone says, oh, third party did it, why can't Hasbro? Third-party figures are made specifically for collectors who can handle a complex transformation. This is a Hasbro figure that has to be good for both collectors and kids. So sometimes the more simple choice is the better choice. And besides that, the figure is still 90% accurate anyway. Does that missing 10% really offend you that much? Is the design now ruined because of that missing 10%? No! It's still Hook. It still looks like the character it's trying to be. Anyway, the design is good, painted well, very solid. The face is just taken from Combiner Wars, but it's still a good face. The shoulder pads, shoulder covers, shoulder things, they get in the way of the arms a bit, but they can move out the way, so it's fine. As for size comparisons, here he is next to a standard deluxe, a standard Voyager, and a standard leader. As for accessories, you get a gun, this can slide into the hand, and there's no storage. As for articulation, head goes up, down, left, and right. Shoulders go all the way around and out. Bicep rotation, double elbow, nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist. Understandable though, since it has to split in half for the combination. Leg goes up, down, and out. Thigh rotation, knee bend, foot goes up and down, and an ankle pivot. Posability is really good. Now as for transformation... Okay, so we're going to start with the legs. They're just going to connect together. And then these pieces are going to come up and the feet are going to go in. And then just plug into the waist. We're just going to move the crane out the way. These back pieces will come up and... just make sure everything's secured in. Then the backpack will come back. The arms, we're going to straighten out the elbows until they click. And then the arms are going to come up like so. And then they will just plug in to where the feet are. And then there are two tabs here that will plug into the backpack, and we are done. And in the end, you get a good-looking vehicle mode that rolls well. The crane can rotate, go up and down, extend, and the hook goes up and down. Now as for long haul, first off, I don't want to hear anything about it's not accurate, he was skinny in G1. Long haul is, and always will be, my big, beefy boy. Anyway, the design is great. He has been slimmed down in comparison to the Combiner Wars figure, so now he looks more like a bruiser rather than the biggest of boys. The face is the same as Combiner Wars. I think the block at the back of the head is new though, and once again, he's painted well and extremely solid. As for size comparisons, Deluxe, Voyager, Leader. As for accessories, you get a gun that comes in two pieces for some reason. This can slide into the hand, and there's no storage. As for articulation, head goes up, down, left, and right. Shoulders go all the way around and out. Elbow bend, elbow rotation, nothing at the wrist, nothing at the waist. Leg goes up, down, and out. Thigh rotation, knee bend, a weird second knee bend, and an ankle pivot. Posability is really good. Now as for transformation... So what you're going to do is bring this part down and bring the whole chest up. And then the head will come down. This part goes back. The arms are going to go in like so. And then we're going to fold the hands in, bend the elbows, and then they will come down on this other joint, and then plug into the sides like so. And then the legs just go together, heels go in. This part comes up and then up again. And then we just bend the knees all the way, make sure it's nice and secured in, and we have a truck mode. And in the end, you get a good-looking truck mode that rolls well. Now, before I give them their final scores, let's just take a quick look at the trailer. It does its job well. It holds all the combiner parts, including the chest pieces, and the fists that can be used as a pair of rocket pods, or Hulk hands, but they can only be held by certain figures. I think the pegs could have done with being a bit longer, but as for the trailer itself, this plugs into the back of Long Haul, and it still rolls really well. So that's Hook and Long Haul. Two really good figures. I'd say this set is definitely worth it, especially if you're collecting the 86 Constructicons. I'm gonna give Hook a 7 out of 10, and Long Haul an 8 out of 10. Today's review is on Studio Series 86, Scavenger, and Mixmaster. The last two Constructicons we need to complete Devastator. Now, I've said all I need to about how I feel about the 86 Constructicons. I don't think they're bad at all. Ignoring the waist, they pose the same as any average modern figure, and I can see that every decision made was to make the combine mode more solid, which is a good thing. If the individual robots or Devastator were a bunch of floppy messes that didn't hold together, I would not like this set at all. I will always prefer less joints if it means making the figures more solid, especially on a combiner. Could they have been better? Probably. But they do what they need to do, and they do it well. Anyway, these two. First off, let's get the boxes out the way. Okay, so once again we have the standard Studio Series packaging. Got nice artwork on the front, Transformers Studio Series, Transformers the movie, the name of the figure. On the side, nothing. On the back, we have pictures of the figure and the vehicle mode, and the same picture from the other figures. And then a bio. Scavenger combines with other Constructicons to form Devastator. Wow, so interesting. I know so much about this character now. Thanks Hasbro. On the side, a picture of Devastator. On the top, the name of the figure. And then on the bottom, nothing. So, yeah, good box. Mixmaster is more of the same. Artwork, the titles, nothing. Picture of the figure, vehicle mode, same picture from all the other figures. And then a bio. Mixmaster combines with other Constructicons to form Devastator. It's the same thing, they just replaced the names. And then picture of Devastator. And then name of the figure. And then nothing on the bottom. So yeah, good box. Starting with Scavenger, my second favourite Constructicon, but probably my third favourite figure. The design is pretty good. He definitely looks very robotic with his proportions, almost like a robot you'd see in something like Ben 10 or Ben 10. I didn't watch a lot of shows on Cartoon Network. If it wasn't Ben 10, I didn't care. Anyway, this figure is another one that is very close to his Combiner Wars version. I have a theory that they looked at those old figures and thought, okay, Bone Crusher is garbage. His waist doesn't hold together, and he just looks weird. Mixmaster has a wrong and bad vehicle mode, and Long Haul is the biggest of boys. These three definitely need an update. The other three, they don't need changing that much. They're already pretty good, which yeah, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Scavenger was probably the best of that old Combiner Wars set, so I'm kind of glad they didn't ruin it with some stupid update. I think I also enjoy this figure a lot more than the others, because of how fun he is to pose. I love using the vehicle mode bucket as an extra arm, or a scorpion tail. It's fun. The head is taken straight from Combiner Wars. It's exactly the same. Besides that, he's painted well, and extremely solid. As for size comparisons, here he is next to a standard deluxe, a standard Voyager, a standard Leader, the Blockies version, all three of them, and Lego Batman.
Hey Batman, I live in the shadows. Justice.
As for accessories, you get a gun. This can be held in the hand, and it can be stored on the back. As for articulation, head goes left and right, shoulders go all the way around and out, elbow bend, elbow rotation, no wrists, no waist, leg goes up, down and out, thigh rotation, knee bend, and an ankle pivot. The extra arm can go up and down in 2 spots, rotate here, and the bucket can go up and down. Posability is pretty good. The transformation is kind of basic, but it's fun. Okay, so first we're going to open the chest and just fold the head in, bring that back up. The feet will close like that and make sure they're straightened out. The arms, so this one is actually different from that one, so we'll do this one first. We're going to bring up this back piece, fold the hand down, and then bring the whole arm down, and then bring this up while also bringing this up. And then everything should just plug in to the side. And then this side is pretty much the same, we just don't have to do that anymore. So just fold hand in, bring it down while also bringing it up, and then just plug everything into the side. And then the legs will come up and around and plug into the sides. And then the crane or claw or whatever this is can come up, and we have a pretty good looking vehicle mode. And in the end, you get a... what is this? It doesn't roll, but the claw still works. So that's Scavenger. Overall, a pretty decent figure. 7 out of 10. As for Mixmaster, the design is alright. To be honest, I don't really have a lot to say. I'm not really into Mixmaster's design in general. It's not bad, I just find it kind of boring. But there are some points I'd like to bring up, like the back. On the Combiner Wars version, the mixer was huge and hanging off the back like, as Thew likes to put it,
some insane plastic wasp ass.
But here it is reasonably sized, and also the fact that all the hollow parts have been filled out. It's a nice touch. The head, once again, is taken straight from Combiner Wars. Besides that, he's painted well and extremely solid. As for size comparisons, Deluxe, Voyager, Leader, Scavenger, Blockies, and a Goomba.
Goomba, fuck you!
As for accessories, you get a gun, it can be held in the hand, and no storage this time. As for articulation, head can go in all directions, but it's kind of hard to move it. Shoulders go all the way around and out. Bicep rotation, elbow bend, no wrists, no waist, sideways crunch, leg goes up, down, and out, thigh rotation, knee bend, and an ankle pivot. Posability is pretty good. The transformation is pretty simple, but the legs are actually quite interesting. Okay, so we're gonna start with the legs, so we're going to open them up. The legs will connect together, the knees will bend forwards, and then the legs will come up like so, and then back down, and it will connect at the top here, like that. The feet, these parts will come up just like that, and then these parts will come down. The chest will just come up, and the arms will go up as well, and then connect into the sides, and then the chest will just come up like that. This part will come up and out, and we have a pretty good vehicle mode. And in the end, you get a good-looking cement mixer that rolls really well. So that's Mixmaster, a pretty good figure. I think I have a lot more fun with Scavenger. I'll still give it the same score, 7 out of 10. So, we finally have all the Constructicons, which means we can finally look at Studio Series 86 Devastator. But before that, let's do a quick recap on the individual figures. Scrapper, a solid remake of the Combiner Wars figure, a few new joints here and there, but not much else to say. Bone Crusher, he looks stupid, but at least he's solid, and the transformation is pretty fun. Hook, just the Combiner Wars figure again. Long Haul, my favorite of the set. Long Haul is always the best. Also, here they are next to their Blockies versions. I forgot to do that in their review. Scavenger, solid and fun. Mixmaster, I don't know, he's good, I guess. After giving it some thought, I would rank these figures the same way I would rank the Constructicons in general. Long Haul, Scavenger, Scrapper, Mixmaster, Hook, and Bone Crusher. Now for the thing you actually want to see. To make things easier, it's better to have all of them in vehicle mode except for Long Haul. Okay, we're gonna go from the legs up. So starting with Scrapper, the bucket comes up like that, and then this part here just clips on. The arms will come out and go around and work like heels, like that. Do the same on the other side, and then the legs will come out so we can connect them. Hey, editing Soundwave here. I forgot to mention that you have to, flip this part around, so just make sure to do that. You're gonna be seeing me a lot. I forget a lot of things during this combination. Mixmaster is pretty simple. We take the entire front section and bring it up, and then the heels will come out as well, and then the arms will come out just like that, and then this part will just come up like that. Long haul, what we're going to do is bring this up and then the entire chest, and then the head will go in, the legs will go down and then back up like so. Connect them together, and then they will connect into these two slots, just like that. The hands will fold in, the elbows will rotate backwards, and then the arms will come back and connect into the sides, like so. Hey, it's me again, editing Soundwave. Turns out I had Longhaul's elbows rotated the wrong way. I end up fixing it when I connect him to, Hook, but, yeah. And that's Longhaul already. Hook. I'm actually going to take off the crane for this to make it easier. Going to take this, bring it off to the side, and then bring the arms down and the feet. We're going to take everything and collapse it until it clicks. Devastator's head will come up and clip into place and turn around. The face will come up and then back down. Make sure to fold in the hands as well. And then this part will open, and then out comes the combiner peg. And then this part you just flip out, and then that's Hook done. Hey, me again, editing Soundwave. So there was a peg that I forgot to flip out, that being the giant peg on Hook's chest. How did I forget that? I don't know. Bone Crusher, these parts will come out of the way, and then this part will come down and it will rotate that way. And then these parts will just come back down. And that's Bone Crusher done. Finally, Scavenger is mostly the same, just undo the legs, bring this part down, rotate, bring the claw in, and then bring the legs back down. The trailer, we're going to just take off all of these parts, and then this part down here also comes off. Then these parts connect. We take this part and unfold it. The legs come down. These parts come down. And then this will fold like that until it looks like that. We're gonna bring back Longhaul, and these will just connect together. Make sure everything is solidly connected. We'll take Scrapper and he'll go in like so and just connect in. Bring in Mixmaster and he'll go in, and this part here will also come down. Now we're able to stand him up. Bring in the Hookman, and he will just connect in a lot of places. You just gotta like go around and make sure everything is connected right. And then that's Hook. Now Scavenger can go on like so. And there's something you have to do with the legs. You bring that down, and then the foot comes up and they connect. And then pretty much the same thing with Bone Crusher, you just bring that down, and then do the same thing with the leg. Bring that down, bring up foot, and then they both should connect at the back as well. And then we bring in the extra parts. We take the hands and fold in the peg and just bring them up, rotate. This will go on Scrapper. The other one, do the same thing. And it will go on Bone Crusher. Then we take the chest pieces and connect them together. And then you're supposed to do it in a specific way. Like, bring the chest down. You connect it onto long haul, and then you just bring it up. It will connect into the chest and the shoulders, and then you bring back the crane, plug it into there, and I have the camera too high. And we have Devastator. And here we have Devastator in all his glory. He is very wide, but I think it fits him, as he's basically what if the Hulk was a giant robot. And finally, we have an actual combiner. There is parts forming, but still, Bone Crusher and Scavenger become most of the arms. Scrapper and Mixmaster become the legs from the knee down, and Hook and Longhaul basically become the entire chest. I don't mind the combiner skeletons, but it's so much cooler to have the individual robots form large chunks of the combine mode. Plus, this is so much easier to combine than Legacy Menasor, a figure that I don't really like anymore. At first I was scared that the legs would look too short, but in hand I can say that isn't a problem. Also, Scrapper is off-center. It's like this so the legs don't bump into each other when he's standing straight, as explained by that toy guy. The head is taken from Combiner Wars, which I don't really mind. It was already a really good head. One more thing I wanted to bring up is the backpack. It is big, yes, but everything connects together solidly, and I do kind of like having a handle to hold him by. As for size comparisons, here he is next to a standard Deluxe, a standard Voyager, a standard Leader, Jetfire, Menasor, and I don't have Combiner Wars Bruticus anymore. As for accessories, Scrapper's guns connect together to make his gun. It can be held in the hand, and it can be stored anywhere. There are peg holes all over this figure. Want to give him a shoulder cannon? Go for it. As for articulation, head goes left and right, shoulders go all the way around and out, elbow bend, elbow rotation, wrist rotation, opening hands, which means he can hold a spoon, 11 out of 10, best toy, waist rotation, front skirts, leg goes up, down, and out. Hey y'all, welcome back to Soundwave ASMR. Today we're gonna be playing with toys and finding them satisfying sounds. That's a satisfying sound right there. Thigh rotation, knee bend, and an ankle pivot. Posability is really good, and most importantly, he's solid. Nothing falls off, nothing is loose. It's just a sturdy brick of a combine mode. So, that's Studio Series Devastator. Is this set worth it? Definitely. If you don't have a Generations Devastator, I would recommend you get these figures. Don't believe the haters, this is awesome, I love it, 9 out of 10. That's it for me, please be sure to leave a like and a comment, Join my Discord server, donate to my Patreon if you want to, follow my TikTok and Instagram, and subscribe to the Great Soundwave. I'll see you next time.